Commander Jack Crofton lounged in his command chair aboard the Eclipse, his eyes scanning the bustling bridge. The crew bustled around him, their efficiency a testament to their skill and dedication. Croc's fingers tapped rhythmically on the armrest, his mind drifting between the routine operations and the unexpected buzz of the day's main event, a distress signal from the Galactic Council. Commander, we've received a Priority 1 distress signal from the Zarnoth Dominion, Lieutenant Juno reported, her voice steady yet edged with concern. She glanced over her shoulder at Croc, her brow furrowed in concentration. Croc's face twisted into a skeptical grin. The Zarnoth Dominion? The same ones who think they're too good for anyone else? Sounds like someone's finally learned their lesson in humility. Juno didn't crack a smile. Yes, sir. The Council's message is clear, they're requesting immediate assistance. The situation seems dire. Croc rubbed his chin thoughtfully. So, they finally need help from us, the lesser species in their eyes. His voice carried a hint of sarcasm. What's the catch? The bridge fell silent as the crew awaited Juno's answer. She hesitated, then continued. The message is vague. They've mentioned an unknown threat, but no specifics. The Council believes this might be an opportunity to prove our worth, given the Zarnotha's past disdain for humanity. Croc's eyes narrowed. He'd heard this song before. So, we're their last-minute heroes now. Fantastic. Prepare the fleet for departure. I want us in Zarnoth space within the hour. And make sure we're not flying into a trap. The crew's activity intensified as they scrambled to meet the new orders. Croc's second-in-command, Lieutenant Commander Ellis, joined him at the command console. You think it's a trap, sir? Could be, Croc replied. Or they're just testing us. Either way, we'll play along for now. I've got a feeling this mission isn't as straightforward as it seems. Ellis raised an eyebrow. What's your plan if it is a trap? Croc's gaze remained fixed on the view screen, where the stars streaked by as the Eclipse powered up for its jump. We outwit them. If they underestimate us, they'll pay the price. We're not just here to help, we're here to show them that humanity isn't to be taken lightly. The crew nodded in agreement, their expressions reflecting a mix of excitement and resolve. The Eclipse and its accompanying ships prepared for departure, engines humming with the promise of a new mission. As the fleet left the safety of their outposts, the stars outside the viewport stretched into lines of light, signaling the start of their journey. The crew members exchanged glances, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of control panels. Set course for Zarnoth space, Croc ordered. And keep those sensors active. I want to know the moment anything goes sideways. Just as the crew adjusted their course, an eerie signal pierced the calm, a soft, pulsating hum that set the hair on the back of Croc's neck on edge. He frowned. What's that? Unknown signal, sir, Juno replied. It doesn't match any known frequencies. It's faint, but persistent. Croc's jaw tightened. Prepare to investigate. If the Zarnoth are hiding something, we need to find out before it's too late. The chapter closed with the fleet moving forward into the unknown, the mysterious signal casting a shadow of unease over their mission. Croc's thoughts were as turbulent as the stars outside, filled with the anticipation of both challenges and triumphs yet to come. The Eclipse glided through the void of Zarnoth space, its engines humming softly as it approached the coordinates of the distress signal. Commander Crofton paced the bridge, his eyes scanning the holographic display of the surrounding space. The Zarnoth system was known for its harsh conditions and fierce inhabitants, and the enigmatic signal only added to the tension. Status report, Lieutenant Juno, Croc said, his voice steady but laced with curiosity. Juno tapped her console, her face illuminated by the soft blue light. We're nearing the signal's origin. The readings are still inconsistent, but there's a strong energy signature coming from a nearby asteroid field. Croc's gaze shifted to the display, where the asteroid field loomed like a cluster of deadly rocks. Of course, a treacherous field. It's like they're trying to make this as difficult as possible. Any sign of Zarnoth's ships? None so far, Juno replied, her eyes narrowing. but the asteroid field is masking a lot of background noise. We'll need to be cautious. Cautious, right? Croc muttered. Ellis, I want a full scan of that field. Let's see what we're dealing with. Lieutenant Commander Ellis, a tall, wiry figure with a perpetual frown, began adjusting the ship's sensors. Aye, sir. Initiating scan now. As the sensors worked, the crew's tension was palpable. Croc's thoughts churned as he considered the possibilities. The distress signal could be genuine, but the Zarnatha's history of deception made him wary. He turned to his crew, determination etched into his features. All right, everyone, Croc said, his voice firm. We're here to figure out if this signal is a genuine cry for help or a Zarnoth ploy. Either way, we'll handle it with the skill and resourcefulness that defines us. Ellis's voice broke through the murmur of the bridge. Sir, I'm picking up something unusual. It looks like there's a hidden station within the asteroid field. It's emitting a signal that matches the distress call. Croc's eyes lit up with a mix of intrigue and suspicion. A hidden station, huh? And here I thought we were just dealing with rocks and radiation. Juno glanced at Croc, her expression serious. We should proceed with caution. If this station is part of a trap, we might be walking into a setup. Agreed, Croc said, nodding. But we're not going to back down. We're going to investigate, and we're going to do it smartly. Let's get a visual on that station. The Eclipse maneuvered carefully into the asteroid field, its sensors picking up the hidden station's structure. As the station came into view, it was a sleek, black monolith against a backdrop of asteroids. Croc studied it with a critical eye. Prepare a small team for a reconnaissance mission, Croc ordered. We need to get a closer look and see what's really going on. Ellis looked up from his console, a question in his eyes. And if it's a trap? Croc's face hardened with resolve. If it's a trap, we'll spring it ourselves. But if it's genuine, we need to be ready to help. Either way, we're not backing down from this. The crew readied themselves for the upcoming mission, their faces set with determination. The Eclipse maintained its careful approach, its crews steeling themselves for whatever lay ahead. As the small team prepared to board the shuttle for their reconnaissance, the asteroid field outside seemed to grow darker, the shadows of impending uncertainty stretching long. The chapter ended with the shuttle's engines igniting, propelling the crew toward the mysterious station and the secrets it might hold. The shuttle drifted silently through the asteroid field, its hull reflecting the dim light from distant stars. Inside, Commander Jack Crofton, Lieutenant Juno, and Lieutenant Commander Ellis were strapped in, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of control panels. Approaching the station, Ellis announced, his voice steady despite the tension. It's more intricate up close. We'll need to maneuver carefully. Juno peered out of the viewport, her eyes scanning the sleek, black structure. The station's design is alien, but it doesn't look hostile. Let's hope it's a genuine distress signal. Croc nodded, his gaze unwavering. We're about to find out. Prepare to dock and deploy the boarding team. The shuttle's thrusters flared as it docked with the station's airlock. The crew donned their helmets and checked their gear. Croc's hand rested on the hatch release, his mind racing through possible scenarios. Remember, Croc said, his voice firm. Our goal is to assess the situation and gather as much information as we can. If it's a trap, we need to be ready for anything. The hatch slid open with a hiss, revealing a dimly lit corridor. The team stepped inside, their boots echoing on the metallic floor. The corridor was eerily quiet, the only sound being the hum of the station's power systems. Juno's eyes narrowed as she examined the control panels. The systems here are ancient but still operational. Whoever built this knew what they were doing. Croc led the way, his senses alert for any signs of danger. Keep your eyes peeled. This place might have surprises waiting for us. The corridor opened into a large central chamber. Dim lights flickered, revealing a series of consoles and a central command station. On the far side of the room, a Zarnoth officer lay slumped over a control panel, their breathing shallow and labored. Is that one of the Zarnoth? Ellis asked, his voice low. Croc nodded. Looks like it. Let's check on him. As they approached, the Zarnoth officer stirred, his eyes fluttering open. "Help!" he rasped, his voice barely audible. "They're coming!" Juno quickly moved to his side, examining his condition. "He's weak and dehydrated. We need to stabilize him." Croc scanned the room, his mind racing. What happened here? Why did they send out a distress signal? The Zarnoth officer struggled to focus. "Pirates took our ship," he gasped. "They're planning to attack the Dominion. We tried to send a warning, but they intercepted it." Croc's eyes hardened. So, the distress signal was real, but the Zarnoth couldn't hold them off. Why didn't they ask for help directly? The officer's eyes grew distant. Pride didn't want to show weakness. Now, too late. Juno applied a stimpack, helping the officer regain some strength. "We need to get him back to the Eclipse. He can help us understand what's at stake." Croc nodded, his expression resolute. "We're not letting the Dominion fall because of their pride. Let's get him back and prepare for whatever those pirates are planning." As the team escorted the Zarnoth officer back to the shuttle, the chamber's dim lights flickered one last time. The station's secrets were slowly unraveling, revealing a more complex situation than anticipated. The shuttle's engines roared to life, propelling them back to the Eclipse. The crew's faces were set with determination, their mission now clear. They would not only rescue the Zarnoth officer but also thwart the impending threat to the Dominion. The chapter ended with the shuttle disappearing into the asteroid field, heading toward the waiting eclipse and the challenges ahead. The eclipse hovered in orbit around the Zarnoth Dominion's capital planet, its hull gleaming under the starlight. Inside, the bridge buzzed with activity as the crew prepared for their next move. Commander Croc Crofton stood at the command console, reviewing the latest intelligence from the Zarnoth officer they had rescued. Lieutenant Juno approached, holding a data tablet. "Commander, the Zarnoth officer's information confirms that the pirates have taken control of a key spaceport. They're planning an all-out assault on the Dominion's defenses." Croc's eyes narrowed. "So, the Zarnoth were right. The pirates aren't just raiders, they're orchestrating a full-scale attack." Lieutenant Commander Ellis, ever the skeptic, leaned over Croc's shoulder. "What's our next move, sir? If the pirates have control of the spaceport, they could hit the Dominion's main fleet and infrastructure." Croc's jaw tightened. "We're going to stop them before they can launch their attack. We'll need to neutralize the threat at the spaceport and coordinate with any remaining Zarnoth forces." Juno nodded. "We have a small fleet of Zarnoth ships en route. They're willing to work with us, but they're still wary. We need to prove that we're here to help. Then we show them that humanity's word is worth something." Croc replied, his voice resolute. "Prepare for immediate deployment. We'll hit the spaceport and dismantle their operation before they can strike." As the crew scrambled to execute the orders, the Eclipse and its accompanying ships engaged in a coordinated descent toward the spaceport. The spaceport loomed large, a sprawling complex dotted with defensive installations and pirate vessels. "Entering the target zone," Ellis reported, his eyes glued to the tactical display. "Pirate ships are on high alert. Expect heavy resistance." "Understood," Croc said, his face set in grim determination. "All hands prepare for combat. We'll take them by surprise and hit their command center first." The Eclipse and its fleet emerged from the cover of space, their weapons systems primed. As they closed in on the spaceport, the pirate ships, caught off guard, scrambled to defend their position. Juno's voice cut through the comms. "We've got incoming fire! Shields holding steady, but we're taking hits." Croc gritted his teeth as he maneuvered the Eclipse through the chaos. "Return fire and target their command ships. We need to disable their control center to break their coordination." The battle unfolded in a spectacular display of strategy and firepower. The Eclipse's lasers cut through enemy defenses with precision, while the Zarnoth ships engaged the pirates in a fierce dogfight. Explosions lit up the spaceport, casting fleeting shadows over the conflict. In the midst of the skirmish, Croc's focus remained sharp. "Ellis, deploy the boarding teams. We need to take control of that command center and secure the spaceport." Ellis acknowledged with a nod, sending teams and assault shuttles toward the spaceport's command structure. As the boarding parties breached the command center, Croc and his team joined the fray, pushing through the corridors with determined resolve. The command center was a scene of chaos, with pirates scrambling to regain control. Croc's team fought their way through, their tactical prowess evident in every move. The pirates, caught off guard by the disciplined assault, fell back in disarray. "Commander Crofton," Juno's voice crackled through the comms. "The spaceport is secure. The remaining pirates are being rounded up." Croc exhaled deeply, a mix of relief and exhaustion in his eyes. "Good work, everyone. We've managed to avert a major disaster. Let's ensure the Zarnoth can rebuild and repair." The chapter ended with the Eclipse and its fleet standing victorious over the smoldering remains of the pirate operation. The battle had been fierce, but humanity's intervention had turned the tide. As the crew regrouped and assessed the aftermath, a new alliance began to form, marked by respect and mutual understanding. The aftermath of the battle at the spaceport was a blend of smoke, wreckage, and the hum of activity as repairs began. The Zarnoth's ships, now under the watchful eye of the Eclipse, were busy re-establishing their defenses and restoring order. On the bridge of the Eclipse, Commander Jack Crofton stood with a weary yet satisfied expression, reviewing the latest reports. "Commander," Lieutenant Juno called, her voice filled with relief. "The spaceport is stabilizing. The Zarnoth are already assessing the damage and beginning repairs. We've managed to prevent further casualties and minimize long-term disruption." Croc turned to her, his face showing a mixture of exhaustion and pride. "Excellent work, Juno. This was a close call, but we pulled through." Lieutenant Commander Ellis approached, holding a data pad. "The Zarnoth leaders are requesting a meeting. They want to discuss the next steps and express their gratitude." "Let's hear them out," Croc said, nodding. "We've made some allies today. It's important to solidify that bond." In the meeting room, Croc faced a group of Zarnoth leaders. Their imposing figures, adorned in regal attire, reflected a mix of relief and respect. The leader, an imposing figure named Azar, stepped forward. "Commander Crofton," Azar began, his voice resonant with authority. "Your intervention was timely and decisive. The pirates' attack was nearly catastrophic. We owe you a great debt." Croc inclined his head. "It was a team effort. We couldn't have done it without the cooperation of your forces and the bravery of my crew." Azar nodded. "We have much to learn from each other. Your tactical prowess and willingness to assist in our time of need have earned you our trust. We would like to formalize an alliance." Juno exchanged a glance with Croc. "An alliance? That's a significant step." Croc smiled, a glimmer of satisfaction in his eyes. "It's a chance to build something lasting. We're here to help, and a partnership could be beneficial for both our peoples." Azar extended a hand. "Then let us begin this new chapter together. We will aid you in understanding the Zarnoth, just as you have aided us." As the formalities were concluded, the atmosphere shifted from tension to camaraderie. The Zarnoth and the humans began discussing mutual interests and potential areas of collaboration. The spaceport, now under joint control, symbolized a new era of cooperation. Back on the Eclipse, Croc stood with his senior officers, looking out at the vastness of space. The battle had been grueling, but it had forged an unexpected alliance and highlighted the strength and resilience of humanity. "You did good today," Ellis said, his tone gruff but appreciative. Croc chuckled. "We all did. It's not just about fighting battles, it's about building bridges. This is just the beginning." Juno joined them, her face reflecting a mix of relief and optimism. "Here's to new alliances and the hope they bring." Croc raised an imaginary glass. "To new beginnings and the strength to face whatever comes next." As the Eclipse set its course for home, the crew looked out at the stars with renewed hope. The mission had been a success, and the bonds formed would pave the way for a brighter future. The chapter concluded with the ship sailing into the expanse of space, carrying with it the promise of unity and the strength of newfound alliances. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. I promise you, nothing will happen to your finger.